Can you believe the Porsche Taycan has been in market in Australia for 3.5 years? Well, it has, which means the midlife refresh clock has struck 12 for this innovative performance EV sedan and wagon. Porsche says it's faster in a straight line and to charge, with more power and an extended range.
It's also been refreshed cosmetically, the dynamics have been tweaked, and the standard features list has been lengthened as prices have gone up.
We're ready to share our first impressions review, so stay with us to see if this updated Taycan keeps the Porsche flame burning in an increasingly electrified automotive world.
Cost of entry to the Taycan Club stretches from close to $175,000 before on-road costs for the entry-grade single-motor rear-wheel drive model to just under $375,000 for the flagship dual-motor all-wheel drive Turbo S. That's an increase of between 2.7 and 6.6% varying by model. The heavy-hitting Taycan Turbo GT is scheduled to arrive in the third quarter at $416,000 and will no doubt see a sporty GTS variant within the next 12 to 18 months. That price spread for the new Taycan pitches the Porsche against the likes of Audi's closely related e-tron GT and RS GT, BMW's 3-tier i5 lineup, and the Mercedes-Benz EQE sedan. For all the details, check out my written review at carsguide.com.au, but highlight spec additions include ambient lighting, soft closed doors, and an intelligent range manager, which uses the nav and onboard systems to optimise energy use. The ventilation system now features a heat pump which compresses outside air to heat the cabin, and wireless charging is included across the board. Then tip in adaptive cruise control, a head-up display, lane change assist, surround view camera with active parking support, rear side airbags, and digital radio. The base model picks up adaptive air suspension, alloy door sill protectors, and a bigger, lighter battery. While depending on model, higher grades collect extra standard gear, ranging from bigger rims and full leather interior to a panoramic glass roof and ventilated seats. Not bad, even in this elevated part of the market.
Porsche's freshened up the front and rear of the Taycan, the biggest change being the headlights, a move away from the drop-down vents that were a part of the original Mission E concept car from 2015. Speaking of headlights, matrix LEDs are now standard across the lineup. And there's no major sheet metal changes. Why would you change it? The CD, the drag coefficient, is 0.22, so super slippery.
Around the back, the Porsche logo in the rear light strip has been given a cool three-dimensional treatment a la the 911, Panamera and other current Porsches. And if you have eyes for the Turbo or Turbo S, the brand's glamorous Turbonite metallic silver colour is now available.
Inside the front of the updated Taycan, it's a screen-rich environment. You have a digital cluster for the instruments, 3 dials rather than the more traditional Porsche 5-dial setup, but it's customisable through roughly 5,000 different configurations. You have new multimedia software backing up the central screen, and there's also a touchscreen down here for heating and ventilation. Passengers also can cop a separate screen, which is optionally available.
The entry-level single-motor rear-wheel drive Taycan features an all-new motor that's not only lighter, it's more powerful, producing heaps more torque, around 22% in fact. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models are powered by permanent magnet synchronous electric motors. When you get to the Turbo S, you're talking 700 kilowatts and 1100 newton meters, which is plenty of power and torque.
That 700 kilowatt number for the Turbo S comes courtesy of an overboost function with launch control, and Taycan models equipped with the Sport Chrono package and the Performance Battery Plus have up to an extra 70 kilowatts courtesy of a 10-second push-to-pass button. At nearly 5 metres long and 2 metres wide but less than 1.4 metres tall, the Taycan is a low-slung large sedan.
In the front of the Taycan, I've got plenty of breathing space, lots of headroom, enough shoulder room. I'm not cramped next to my co-pilot. In terms of storage, there are pockets in the doors with room for bottles, a couple of cup and bottle holders in the center console, as well as a tray under this kind of flying buttress broad section here. There's another storage tray underneath, a lidded box in here with a couple of USB-C outlets, which is handy, and a 12 volt, and there's a decent sized glove box over on the passenger side.
Interestingly, an in-car video function enables video streaming on the central display while the vehicle is stationary, and the passenger display at any time with the vision hidden from the driver by a lenticular-style screen. In the back, sitting behind the driver's seat set for my 183cm position, and I have ample legroom and space for my feet. Problem is, my head hits the roof solidly, even with the extra room afforded by the panoramic glass insert, which is a no-cost option from the Taycan 4S up. Standard configuration is 2 rear seat positions, although a 4+1 setup, which adds an occasional centre rear position, is optionally available. Trust me, that's tight. On the upside, you have adjustable ventilation for the rear seat passengers, with a small oddment shelf below them, slots in the doors for bottles, and 2 more couple bottle holders in the fold-down centre armrest. No map pockets on the front seat back, so while there's some room for storage, it's not exactly oversupplied in that department, or for breathing space in general. Boot space is relatively modest at 366 litres in the sedan, but the 60/40 split folding rear seat liberates more space if required. The Cross Turismo wagon offers 405 litres and a much larger load aperture for greater flexibility. An 84-litre frunk sits in the nose of all Taycans. A power boot lid or tailgate and auto self-levelling to maintain the car's ride height under load is standard, but there's no spare tyre of any description. A repair inflator kit is your only option, which is less than ideal. The Taycan runs 800-volt electric architecture, which means it can charge at up to 320 kilowatts on a DC fast charger, which is 50 kilowatts more than its predecessor. In fact, charging at more than 300 kilowatts for up to 5 minutes. You're looking at a 10 to 80% charge in 18 minutes on a fast charger, which is down from 37 minutes. An 89 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery is standard on the entry-grade Taycan. It boasts an advanced nickel, cobalt, manganese cell chemistry, which Porsche says delivers high energy content, lower internal resistance, and higher charge and discharge currents, and it's 9 kilograms lighter. All models above it feature the 105 kilowatt-hour Performance Battery Plus, a roughly 12K option on the base car. Official energy consumption on a combined urban-extra-urban cycle varies from 17.1 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometres for the single-motor Taycan to 17.8 kilowatt-hours for dual-motor variants. On the Launch Drive program, covering mainly rural B roads on Tasmania's east coast, we cycled through all models on offer and recorded a best figure of 21.5 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometres for the single-motor Taycan, up to 22 kilowatt-hours for the Turbo S. Not bad. Claimed range is 566 kilometres for the entry-grade Taycan, up to 626 kilometres for dual-motor models. Interestingly, on four-wheel drive models, the front electric motor can be electronically decoupled more frequently to improve efficiency.
So full disclosure, my preference when it comes to Porsche propulsion is pistons in cylinders, ideally 6 of them, horizontally opposed. But if you're in the market for a Taycan, you've moved beyond that. And this car is properly fast. Even the base rear-wheel drive car is a sub 5-second proposition, 0 to 100 km/h. By the time you're up at the Turbo S, you're at 2.4 seconds, which is hypercar fast. Now, Porsche admits to playing around with a dual-clutch synthetic kind of setup a la Hyundai's Ioniq 5N. They didn't go that way. They didn't think it was valid in terms of the car's point-to-point ability. What they did put in is a push-to-pass button on the dual-motor versions, which means for 10 seconds you get an extra burst of power and performance, which is kind of fun. Suspension is forged alloy double wishbones, effectively front and rear. There are some extra links at the back. And adaptive suspension is standard across the range with active ride on the dual motor variants. And this car rides really well. It's comfortable. You expect EVs to somehow be bumpy and thumpy. We're on B road, decidedly second grade coarse chip surfaces, and it smoothed those out beautifully well. Most of the cars on this launch program have been riding on 21-inch rims, big Goodyear Eagle F1 rubber. Standard is 19 on the entry grade, go to 20s and 21s. So even despite those big wheels, the car still rides very well. In terms of the steering, hey, this is a Porsche. It's fantastic. It's beautifully accurate. It responds quickly, but it's not snappy, it's not too fast. You have a really good connection between your hands and the front tyres. Even the lightest Taycan weighs more than 2 tonnes, so you expect it to be heavy and kind of slow. It's not as if you're trying to coax it through corners. You point, accelerate through. It's beautifully balanced. It's what you'd expect from a Porsche performance car. The brakes, the physical brakes that is, are professional grade. You've got big ventilated rotors front and rear, 6-piston monoblock calipers up the front, 4-piston at the rear, and they absolutely wash off speed when you need them to. And of course you've got the regenerative braking, which can be put to an even more aggressive setting than the previous model Taycan.
Believe it or not, the Turbo S's front brake calipers contain no less than 10 pistons, clamping ceramic composite rotors. We gave all Taycan variants a solid workout on the Baskerville Raceway just north of Hobart, and stopping power felt as strong and effective at the end of the session as it did at the start.
In terms of miscellaneous observations, the turning circle for this car is 11.7 metres. At first flush seems to be a 3-point turn, could be a 5-point turn, or a U-turn. You've got to take a couple of bites at it, so be prepared for that. As well, the active ride equipped cars, when you get in, it lifts itself up about that much, which may sound a bit over the top, but it's a very nice feature and makes getting into the car just that little bit easier.
Although Porsche and ANCAP do not intersect at this stage, the Taycan ticks just about every active crash avoidance safety box in the book. Full details are in my written review on the CarsGuide site, but the highlights are AEB, including pedestrian detection, intersection assist, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control with swerve and turn assist, and heaps more. If a crash is unavoidable, there are 10 airbags on board, as well as an active bonnet to minimise injuries in a pedestrian impact, and multi-collision brake minimises the chances of subsequent collisions following an initial crash. There are 2 top tethers and 2 Isofix anchors for baby capsules and/or child seats across the second row. Porsche covers the Taycan with a 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is off the pace for the premium segment, where 5 years unlimited kilometres is the norm. The high voltage drive battery is covered by an 8-year 160,000 kilometre warranty. The paint is covered for 3 years, and a 12-year unlimited kilometre anti-corrosion warranty is included. Porsche Roadside Assist provides 24/7 365 coverage for the life of the warranty, and after the warranty runs out is renewed for 12 months every time the vehicle is serviced at an authorised Porsche dealer. Thanks to fewer moving parts, servicing intervals for the Taycan are relatively lengthy at 2 years or 30,000 kilometres, whichever comes first. With Porsche, final costs are determined at a dealer level in line with variable service labour rates by state or territory.
Porsche says its Taycan models have always been performance focused, and this updated version is faster in a straight line and point to point than the model it replaces. It's better equipped, more efficient, and yes, more expensive, but it's every millimetre a Porsche in the way this EV sedan and wagon package has been executed. It's an impressive car, likely to appeal to newcomers to the brand rather than traditionalists, although you may already have other Porsches in your garage. Either way, with the Macan Electric about to arrive and the Pure EV 718 Boxster and Cayman just around the corner, it's an important part of this German iconic brand's transition to an electric future. Mark's good.